All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started today. So once again, my name is Dylan Lusk, here with the National Weather Service, and this is our weekly weather briefing for November 7th. There we go. All right, so just a couple of highlights. We've got a cold front that's going to be moving through the area today into tonight. That's going to be bringing a chance of rain, as well as some cold air behind it. That'll start to come in mostly into Saturday. Right now, with this cold front moving through, we don't have any severe weather in the forecast at this time. We have another cold front that's going to move into the area next week. That's a little more notable. You may have seen on the news and other things. That cold front will actually bring some of the coldest air of the season so far. So we'll give you a quick little peek at that. The other thing you may have been seeing is what we're going to call the S word, the snow word. It's been beginning to kind of show up here and there on social media. So we'll talk about it a little bit today in terms of the possibility for that next week. One thing I do want to emphasize right off the bat, though, is it is way too early to have any confidence, and it's also something that if anything does happen, we're expecting basically no impacts from it. The last thing we'll talk about today is we are seeing additional improvements of at least one drought category across much of north and central Georgia, thanks to some of the beneficial rains that we've gotten lately. All right, so our current conditions right now across the state, we're in the 60s, mid-60s through the Atlanta metro, getting warmer as you go to portions of South Georgia. The current radar over here on the right, you can see we've got some kind of rain showers that have been popping up across Tennessee into Alabama. Those will slowly but surely make their way into Georgia today. They're kind of showers that are associated with a cold front that's going to be moving through. And so here's kind of some estimated timing on that, when we kind of expect the start of the heaviest rain with these, or with this front that's moving through. So starting up here, we go from 1 to 3 p.m. for basically portions of north and northwest Georgia. We're expecting somewhere in the 4 to 6 p.m. time frame for the Atlanta metro area and Athens as well. As we go further south, 7 to 9 for Columbus and Macon. And then as we get even further south in the state, 10 to 12 a.m. and 1 to 3 a.m. And so important to emphasize, these are kind of estimated times. You could certainly see some rain before these times that are listed here. We are expecting some showers to kind of develop ahead of this that will be a little more spotty. This is more to give you an idea of when we're expecting the more constant rain to come in this evening, just in case you have anything that you're planning on for tonight. So we're not expecting this to be a major washout or anything like that. The estimated precipitation amounts for this are generally in the 1/2 inch range across the state, a little bit further, or a little bit more further to the south. But generally speaking, this isn't going to be anything where we're concerned about flooding or anything like that. It should just be, honestly, a good soaking rain, which we still do need. In terms of severe weather, as I kind of stated earlier, we're really not expecting any severe weather with this. We certainly could have a couple of rumbles of thunder, generally along and south of the I-20 corridor. But once again, just want to emphasize, we're really not expecting to see anything severe out of this. Generally just maybe a few thunderstorms, stuff like that. So looking ahead for our 7-day forecast, you can see the cold front kind of comes through and temperatures drop off tomorrow, and especially in a Saturday morning where we've got temperatures that will be once again down into the mid to lower 30s across the state. We'll warm up a little bit Sunday into Monday, and then we drop off again Tuesday, and you'll really notice that on Wednesday morning we actually have temperatures that are forecast in the metro area, for instance, in the upper 20s. And so that's some of the really cold air posts that you've been seeing on social media and things like that. There is a pretty good amount of confidence that we will be seeing some of the coldest air of the season next week. So this would be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Here is our current forecast temperatures. Obviously, this is a couple of days in advance, so this is subject to change some, especially with the timing of that storm system that's supposed to move in. But obviously temperatures this cold are a little, well, I won't say a little, they're pretty unusual for this time of year. It's definitely a little early, a little bit earlier than we would expect this kind of stuff. So we definitely want to give you guys a heads up on that. All right, so the other thing we want to talk about too is what I'm going to call the S word, the snow word. So you may have seen some social media graphics being posted around that show basically model output that has either snow or something like this, where, you know, in very northern Georgia in this model output, we actually are starting to see some freezing rain, sleet, stuff like that being shown in the model. I kind of want to show you another model run that happened 6 hours later from the exact same model. And what you can kind of see is here there's, you know, pretty much absolutely nothing over the state of Georgia. And so it's always important not to focus on any one model. This is kind of something that we're always emphasizing, but this is just kind of an extreme case that we really wanted to highlight. This far out, it is still way too early for us to have a confident forecast. A lot of the details of this still have yet to be determined for sure. We do have in our forecast the possibility of some very, very light frozen precip in far, far northern Georgia during this time frame. So this would be, say, Tuesday morning-ish, around that time frame. However, it's one, very, very light. It's only the very far northern counties, and there would be absolutely no impacts expected from this. This type of kind of winter weather setup around here is definitely not the quote-unquote typical setup where we would expect to see significant impacts for our region. So we know that there's some stuff that started to go around on social media, so we definitely just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up and let you know that, yes, we are aware of it, but it's definitely not something that we're concerned about yet in any way, shape, or form. All right, and we'll wrap up today with our drought summary. So as you can see, hopefully on the left here is our drought monitor that came out for the state today, and on the right is the previous week's drought monitor. You can see we've actually gotten rid of all of our D3 extreme drought, which we had in portions of northern and especially northeastern Georgia. We still do have some D2 severe drought, especially in and around and east of the metro area. In those regions, we still are seeing basically, despite the rains, we're running some pretty hefty deficits still, and basically the stream flows in our rivers and our creeks, things like that, still are a little bit lower than we would expect. So we still do have some drought in those regions, but it is getting better, is what we can say. And so hopefully with these continued rains, we'll keep seeing improvements like this week after week. All right, so just to summarize again, we've got a cold front moving through the area today into tonight. That's going to bring rain and a little bit of colder air behind it. We're not expecting anything severe with that. We'll have another cold front that will move into the area next week. That will potentially bring us some of the coldest air of the season. There's been a little bit of stuff getting thrown around on social media regarding snow and wintry precip. It's really too early to have any confidence in that forecast. And even if something did manifest, so to speak, we really wouldn't expect no impacts whatsoever. Last, we've seen improvements of at least one drought category across much of north and central Georgia. We've actually removed our extreme drought. So with that, just a friendly reminder that we always end with, you can always call us. There's our phone number. These briefings will be posted up to the briefing page. Our website, you can get the latest information at weather.gov/Atlanta. We are pretty much constantly monitoring Twitter and Facebook, and this will also be posted to YouTube. So thank you, and if you have any questions, I'll take them now.